Okay, good morning, everyone. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
The first item that I want to discuss is on the agenda before we go to public comments in a moment, but as far as number 5 under new business, that's going to be tabled for that contract approval due to the fact that I had thought that our solicitor had reviewed that. Our solicitor is on vacation, so I and I think the other committees, we don't like to do things like that until we're sure that we have a note back from our solicitor. We're sure the contract is fine, but we always like to have a memo from the solicitor, so we're just going to table that, so that's not going to be on the agenda, okay? So then we go to, so when we make a motion for, to approve the agenda, we will just make it without that number on there, okay? So that goes to public comments and questions concerning today's agenda.
Just asking again, which
It's on, I'm sorry, on mine, it's on the back, it's under new business, and it's number 5.
Thank you.
Okay.
Matt, a quick question. I had a question on that one. Do you want my questions for the lawyer here, or do you want me to wait till the end? What would you prefer?
We can do it. It's not, we'll do it at the end.
At the end, okay.
Anyone else? Okay, nothing else, then we'll move on to a motion to approve the June 3rd, 2026 agenda with that item tabled.
I'll make that.
An amended agenda.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item we have is, we're going to, do you have time to stay, or you have no?
I'm all yours.
Okay, would you like to give it a little time? Because we have a check presentation that's at the end of the agenda here for the EMS training. And I know another member was going to be here.
Yeah, I don't believe he's going to be able to be here until noon, so if our agenda is short, we might as well go ahead and do it.
Okay.
So,
You want to move that to the front, though?
You want to move to the front?
Yeah.
Okay, we can move it to the front, and then you can go on your way. Okay, so we're going to move to the back of the agenda here where it has check presentation to the EMS training facility. So I will hand it over to Mr. Oliger, who him and his law firm have graciously in the last, what is this, the 3rd year in a row?
Third year?
3rd year that they've had a golf outing which supports the EMS training dollars that go into our foundation at the Greater Pike Community Foundation. This was the creation of Mr. Oliger and his firm that helped us initiate and create that fund. So Jason, I'll leave it to you, and then we can have a little presentation, whatever you want to do.
I appreciate that. Okay, so we didn't create it. We created it in conjunction with the commissioners and a private donor, and so we're not going to take total credit for it. But the last 3 years we have had a very successful golf tournament. We had it this year on Monday, May 18th. We had for us, a record number of golfers. It was 120 golfers, maybe give or take 1 or 2. Previous years, we didn't quite break 100. The first year, we raised $15,000. The second year, $17,000. This year is $18,000. We were able to net out. So over the past 3 years, we've raised $50,000 for EMS training, and it's my understanding that this entire initiative has been very successful in the sense that no fire department or individual EMT volunteers had to pay for the training, which was what the problem was that was initially identified, and, to solve, which is if you're going to donate your time and away from your family and everything like that in order to be an EMT, you shouldn't have to pay for the training too, and the fire department shouldn't have to absorb the cost of it. So we identified a problem, and it appears to be going well so far. So I do have the
So let's just put some numbers to that dollar, just so you know. I just because I asked him when he got here. So it costs on average about $1,100 to train them. So in the number of years you've done that, you've taken care of 45 individuals to be trained as EMTs. That is by you and many others in this community, you're right, that make sizable donations to this fund through Greater Pike, and it is with Greater Pike's assistance that we're able to use their fund in this way to house the money, which makes this all a community effort. And I know Tim is thrilled about this. We are. I know we just put a whole classroom full. You want to
Yeah,
talk
sure.
a little bit about what just went on? Because it's always important that we talk about this in the public, because it is a much needed service that protects every single person in this room, never mind the visitors that come here.
Sure, we wouldn't be able to accomplish what we're able to accomplish as far as the training. From day one of the EMS world here in Pike County, we identified the problem of, we could have all the money in the world, but if we didn't have people to put in these ambulances and in these medic units, we wouldn't be successful at what we do. We need the people to do it. And there was a gap where it's expensive to train people. I mean, like Commissioner Ussenberg just said, it's $1,100 to train an EMT. We also have started the last 2 years, we're into the advanced EMT now, and that equals like $2,500 a student. So without great people like Jason and the rest of the community stepping up to help us with this fund, we wouldn't be able to be successful. And there's more to it than just putting the student through the class. You need the material to put the student through the class, and the material is very expensive to stay up with the current standards and everything. So we're finishing up a class right now, 22 students. I think there's 22 students in it. They're about 2 weeks from being done, and we'll put more people out there. But like Commissioner Osberg said, we wouldn't be successful without great people in the community to help us be successful. In Pike County, as far as I know, I travel the state on different committees and stuff, and as far as I know, Pike County is still the only county that I know of firsthand to where if somebody wants to volunteer their time, whether it be for fire, EMS, in that type of emergency service field, there's no cost to them. So that's huge. I mean, as I travel around, that's the disconnect in a lot of, a fire department, for example, that has a budget of $10,000, how do they do $15,000 worth of training? It's impossible. So we're still one of the only counties that we don't charge any of our people to train them to do the job they're volunteering to do.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
But before we do that, I also want to mention my partner, Nick McIntyre, because the only reason he's not here is because he's a preliminary hearing down at Dingman's Ferry, otherwise he'd be here as well. So him, and we also have a lot of great sponsors, so Wayne, if there's going to be any coverage, if you reach out to me so I can give you a list of those sponsors, especially the heavier sponsors, we want to make sure that they're all noted, because, and Luke being one of them. So we want to make sure that all the sponsors that make it possible are also acknowledged. So
Yeah, absolutely, because they're the ones that make the golf tournament successful.
my favorite time, comically oversized check time. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Tim, come up here.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Right here. Get in there.
I'm gonna have to.
Okay, smile. Okay. Thank you guys.
Hold on, Wayne's got to get one. We can send it to you, Wayne.
We'll just
Yeah, we can send it to you.
we'll just cut and paste Nick.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I might be able to get Wayne back.
There you go.
Keep the keys.
And here is the actual. Here's
Yeah, that's the motion.
formal size.
The real check, yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Can I give you my email on that?
Yeah.
Please. The editor
Okay.
at PikeDispatch.com.
All right, great, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yep. I'll get you that
I
one.
appreciate that.
Appreciate you.
Move on to the next.
Okay.
Number 2, motion to approve the May 20th, 2026 meeting minutes. I was not in attendance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the May 27th, 2026 conference minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, any questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve payment of the general fund county bills in the amount of $393,105.14.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second, any questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve payment from the Board of Elections Fund in the amount of $256.49.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the payment from the Vehicle Registration Fund in the amount of $20,852.50.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Under Personnel, motion to acknowledge receipt of a letter from Warden Lowe advising that he has transferred with prison board approval Jacob Pennings from full-time administrative clerk to full-time maintenance staff member for a 40-hour work week retroactive to May 20th, 2026. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to acknowledge receipt of a letter from Warden Lowe advising that he has transferred with prison board approval Tyler Clark from full-time food production supervisor to full-time correctional officer for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to acknowledge receipt of a letter from Warden Lowe advising that he has hired with prison board approval Denise Richards as a full-time administrative clerk at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026 with benefits after 90 days. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to acknowledge receipt of a letter from Warden Lowe advising that he has hired with prison board approval the following individuals as full-time correctional officers at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026 with benefits after 90 days. Ariel Altman and Shannon Gallagher. These are replacement positions.
Motion.
Motion and second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to hire Nora Loacano as a Clerk 1 in Magisterial District Court 62301 for a 37.5-hour work week, retroactive to June 1st, 2026. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion and second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to change the status of John Lambertson from part-time to full-time driver for the Transportation Department at the same pay rate for 40-hour work week, effective June 8, 2026, with benefits after 90 days. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to hire Roberta Lance as a part-time driver for the Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, effective June 10, 2026. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to hire Rita Giaconelli as a part-time driver for Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, effective June 15, 2026. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to hire Ashley Elliott as a legal assistant 1 for Children and Youth Services for a 37.5-hour work week, effective June 15, 2026, with benefits after 90 days. This is a replacement position.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to recess the Commissioners' meeting to hold a salary board meeting.
Motion.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to convene the salary board.
Motion.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the May 20th salary board minutes. I need to abstain from that. I wasn't there, so we can have a motion for that one.
Motion.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to approve the May 27, 2026 salary board minutes.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to set the hourly rate of Jacob Pennings at $21 per hour due to his transfer of a full-time maintenance staff member for a 40-hour work week retroactive to May 20th, 2026.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to set the hourly rate of Tyler Clark at $28.36 per hour due to his transfer to full-time correctional officer for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to set the hourly rate of Denise Richards at $16 per hour as a full-time administrative clerk at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026 with benefits after 90 days.
Motion.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the hourly rate of the following individuals at $28.36 per hour as full-time correctional officers at the correctional facility for a 40-hour work week retroactive to June 1st, 2026 with benefits after 90 days. Ariel Altman and Shannon Gallagher. Motion. Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Motion to set the hourly rate of Nora Loyacano at $15 per hour as a clerk 1 in Magisterial District Court 60-3-01 for a 37.5-hour work week, retroactive to June 1st, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor? Motion to set the hourly rate of Roberta Lance at $15 per hour as a part-time driver for the Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, effective June 10th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the hourly rate of Rita Giancanelli at $15 per hour as a part-time driver for the Transportation Department for less than 1,000 hours per year, effective June 15th, 2026.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to set the annual salary of Ashley Elliott at $33,220 per year as a legal assistant 1 for Children and Youth Services for a 37.5-hour work week, effective June 15th, 2026, with benefits after 90 days.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Aye. Motion to increase the hourly rate of Kathleen Sarro to $20.03 per hour, effective June 1st, 2026, as recommended by the President Judge Jellick.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn the salary board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to reconvene the Commissioners meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to advertise bids for the sale of transportation vehicles.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adopt resolution number 2618, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of Pike County submit a request for modification of community development block grant funding for federal fiscal year 2022 to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to execute the Emergency Solutions Grant Agreement by behalf of the Office of Human Services.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to approve the following human service payment vouchers on behalf of the Office of Human Services State Food Purchase Program in the amount of $4,914.67 and FAIR in the amount of $8,015.39.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor? Motion to authorize the chairman to execute the Beach Lake Sprinkler Agreement on behalf of the correctional facility as recommended by the prison board.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to execute the memorandum of agreement between Pike County and the Probation Officers Association.
Motion.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, under miscellaneous, we have, we do every meeting, the Penn State Extension calendar of events for everyone's information. And the next, third item would be the Pike County, I can't pronounce that word, so I'm just gonna call it the 250th anniversary, right? They should just get rid of that word. And just make the announcement that the parade is planned for July 4th here in Milford Borough. Kickoff is at noon. Here's some posters that we've done. We are requesting, and we've had a lot of participation. We know it's the holiday weekend, so people are busy, but we felt it was important that if we're gonna celebrate the 250th anniversary in Pike County, we should do it on the actual day. So the parade is being planned. We are asking for all municipalities and fire companies and nonprofits to please register with Shannon, right in the back of the room, to be a participant in this. You know, this is, in some cases of some of us in this room, this is more than a lifetime, once in a lifetime. But for some, it will be once in a lifetime that we can celebrate something like this as celebratory as the 250th anniversary of our nation. So we're asking everyone to please, if you're Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, any nonprofits, to please register and march in the parade. We're trying to we did limit this to having no commercial activity in it. We just wanted to be the municipalities and the county government and the nonprofits to do this. So there's going to be music in the parade, and then after the parade, there'll be some events on the community house front lawn where we'll have the reading of the Declaration of Independence. We'll have George Stalter and the music that's out there every weekend, playing some brass band and military ensembles, and we'll have the military here with all of the American Legions and those organizations celebrating this day. So mark your calendar, it's a big day. As some of us in this room remember, 1976 was a big time. There was a lot of excitement in this community when that happened. Not to give away my age, it's the year I graduated from high school. It was a big celebration, and we need to make that just as memorable as we did then as we do this year. So that's that announcement. If there's anything else anybody else has on it? Nope. Yep, we're going to now go to Michelle from the Pocono Mountain Vacation Bureau.
Hi, everyone.
She runs the Visitors Bureau, and she has an announcement that we think is important to everybody in the community.
So I'm currently the Milford Community Center community center, visitor center manager, and the chamber liaison. So I want to welcome everybody to Chris Reddy here. He's going to be taking my place officially on June 12th. So if you have any questions that are chamber related or PMBG related, please contact Chris.
Okay, welcome, Chris.
Welcome, Chris.
Thanks. Okay, and then we will open that up to person public comment.
I'd like to start.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. I certainly want to acknowledge Pride Month, and I want to send love and acceptance and all that other positive stuff to all of my LGBTQIA+ neighbors and family. It is very important that this month be acknowledged for them. Thank you.
Anyone have person public comment? Go ahead, Bill.
This is on the intergovernmental transfer agreement that I know we tabled, but there may be questions that can be answered in between. The original reason for accepting the ICE detainees was excess capacity, and therefore Pike County took in ICE detainees to cover that extra space. Now Pike County is using this detention center as a moneymaker by transferring all local detainees to Wayne County and turning our detention center into a full ICE facility. Can you confirm that all detainees that are coming in have had due processes described in the Constitution? Do all the programs described on the website, although some have not been reinstituted after COVID but are still listed, are they going to be available for the ICE detainees? And how much are we paying per day per person for Wayne? Because I know we're getting $178 a person for each ICE detainee. My previous comment calling the process center a concentration camp was not a criticism of the guards, the warden, or the facility itself. It was a reflection on making money on people who may not have been adjudicated, using them as a source of revenue for the county. This conflicts with the Fifth Amendment, which states no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. It does not say no citizen, it says no person. Keeping prisoners without due process is by definition a detention or concentration camp. Pike County is short of spaces large enough to benefit the county. This space might be creatively used, excess space might be creatively used without stooping to be in an ICE facility. It's a stain on the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Val.
Any other comments? Fred?
Yeah, how are we doing with the Restore the SAR?
Well, we were this close.
Sure, I know.
And I'm still, now I'm dealing with the state rep, congressman's office to see what we can do. We knew that this was not going to be easy. I will have to tell you that the local members of the national park have been extremely supportive to get this done, and I will just tell you, it was very close. He, unfortunately, and I've said this from the very beginning, nobody in the national park locally here is going to lose their job over this. They're not just going to do something without making sure that they have the absolute approval from the higher ups in the national park, and that's where it is right now. I know you know that. We were very close.
Yeah.
And again, the local gentleman, Eamon, is extremely supportive of it, but again, he's got to work through the bureaucracy of the national park, which, if you've ever seen the rules and regulations, and again, he's not going to lose his job over it. So all I can tell you is that I'm still working on it. I was on the phone yesterday with the congressman's office.
Yeah, I certainly don't blame the local guys, and yeah, there is a chain of command, and it is a complete bureaucracy. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Welcome to government.
So one other question I had was the reassessment, which is ongoing, which I'm not against. I'm not saying it's something we shouldn't do. Again, what the cost, and then how will that cost be paid for?
Okay, the cost of we have Cindy and Charlie here. They're the ones that are doing the reassessment, but that's more directed to us because it is the cost. So the cost of the reassessment, and we vetted this with many others. So when you hear this number, don't think that we just picked the first number. This is the number of what this costs in the number. It is $4.9 million to do a reassessment. Mm-hmm. It is that's why there's always been hesitance on this office to do it, because it's always a matter of how do you pay for this. There's no other funding for this. It's not like we get some magic number from the state, everybody in this room. So we were able to negotiate with Vision, who was doing the reassessment, to take that $4.9 million and give us 6 years, basically, because they've already started. So over 6 years, with no payments for this year, starting next year, that we will pay them monthly. We believe, as we move forward into our budget for next year, and no interest, by the way, that's important. I wanted to tell you this. So I put this towards.
All
like,
caps,
when-
no interest.
When you shop at Home Depot and you get same as cash, right? And interest-free. So, and that is, that's very nice of Vision to do that, because that's a big ask to do that. We believe that we're going to be able to take this now and over the next 5 years, build it into our budget so that there will not be any tax increase. Now, I can't guarantee you there'll never be tax increases, all right? If anybody sits up here and tells you that, I'm telling you they're lying right to your face, okay? Because this is a really hard job to balance this budget and make sure that we have enough revenue coming in. But the plan right now is that we can pay for this over the next 5 years, starting next January, on a monthly basis, so there'll be no effect on the taxes that we're collecting now.
So just to rough it out, it's $1 million a year.
That's good, Fred, you're quick. It's actually I just want you to know, because it's $980,000, right? Because 20 grand to this county is 20 grand, right? But you're right, it's $1 million a year. But, if we had bonded this, just think this through, if we had bonded that out, which we have every right to do, it would have been bonded out at probably 4% interest. Now we had that on top of the 4.8 million. Now you're talking bigger money. And you'd be paying for this for the next 20 years.
And just one other thing, if you run into me and my wife, could you tell her I had a quick moment here at the meeting? She'll be impressed.
That you were here?
No, that I had a quick moment here.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Okay, anyone else?
Well, talking about the budget, thank you very much for putting into this year's budget the American 250. I think you put aside $20K for it.
Well, just so we're clear, we got, because we have to give that to the people. PMVB matched the grant that we got from the 250th committee in the state of 10,000, so it came from there. Not to say that we may have to put a little bit of our money into it, but 20 grand is going to go a long way with this, and we believe we have it all covered. But I just have to make sure that those people get recognized for what
So I'll make a second statement, and then hopefully I'll be half right today. You guys froze, as the commissioners, you guys froze your salaries for this year?
No, because you understand that.
It seemed like it was a baseline for the 3 years.
No, I don't think, whatever it was 2% or something. So, just on that note, so how salaries are determined by row officers, they have to be set the year before the election. So this year, moving forward, before we go into next year's election, there needs to be a meeting sometime in November, right? But it's not just the county commissioner's salaries, it's also the row officers. So every elected official in the county, their salaries are set a month before the year of the election. So while, and I'm not, we have a 3% raise, but that's because they were set 3 years ago, right? And we have to set every year what that number is going to be, but that also includes the sheriff, the treasurer, all the row
Right,
officers,
yeah.
they get all the
The
same.
sheriff went up.
The sheriff is on a different
Okay.
cycle a little bit because he doesn't run with all the other row officers. He's on an off cycle. So his pay scale is also on an off cycle just because of he runs 2 years after the other row officers.
Because it seemed like your guys stayed kind of settled.
Well,
Yeah.
they're not big increases, so they do really well.
And the sheriff went up.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Just generally, what's been the response from what you've seen from municipalities? As you pointed out, this parade is not going to involve businesses, but will involve municipalities. I know of a couple that, because of vacation schedules and other commitments, were unable to participate. There were two at meetings that I covered, but others, from what I understand, are participating. What has the response been?
We have 13 municipalities and a majority of them have, and you're right, exactly. It's not that they don't want to participate. They're away on vacation. July 4th is that's the start of the summer season. And a lot of people are away, but a majority of them have participated. And I hate to name who they are right now because things can change. I mean, we're a month out. They may change because As we get closer to it, we don't care. If somebody shows up over here on the day of the parade when we line up at Ann Street, we're not gonna tell them, oh, you didn't sign up, you're not marching, right? So we really don't wanna name them, but you know who they are. And it all has to do with people's schedules. People have lives.
I believe that there are about 9 municipalities.
There's 9 municipalities,
But
okay.
there are close to 30 other groups.
Yeah, 30 other organizations, you know. All the fire trucks are coming. Kids like all the fire trucks.
And I understand that, you know, as you point out, some organizations are not only coming, but they're bringing, well, I know one specifically is bringing a float.
Yep.
That should be pretty colorful in a good way and very interesting on the theme of the 250th. So, you know, it sounds like, you know, there's some interesting participants, positively speaking, who are coming in.
Yep, it'll be a good day.
Before we close, I just wanted to announce before we end the meeting, there will be a public town hall tomorrow, June 4th at 7 p.m. at the Lehman Township Community Center. The topic of the discussion will be healthcare and the upcoming cuts, unfortunately, to Medicaid and SNAP benefits and how that affects residents in the county. I think 1 in 6 receive Medicaid and 1 in 4 get SNAP, or I might have that reversed, so I do apologize. But a great number of our residents, you know, rely on the safety nets, and they need to know and be aware of what's coming down the pike. So again, tomorrow, June 4th at 7 p.m. at the Lehman Township Community Center, 216 Lehman Park Road in East Stroudsburg. That's the mailing address for this push kill.
Now, that being said, I know recently the Commissioner's Office had an emergency session that addressed the safety of some of our county properties. I won't go deep into it. You guys know what I'm talking about. I believe personally that in light of things like the ongoing politics of SNAP, Medicaid, ICE, Shawnee Walker, that, and I did send you guys an email about it, that may want to be considered expanded. The safety of a public servant, I think, is paramount in sustaining our government. And I hope that in light of that reality, we may consider relooking and expanding the breadth of the expanse of the safety of your county employees.
Appreciate your comments.
Yep.
I also want to recognize Attorney Nick McIntyre, who walked in here earlier than expected, but he is the part of the duel that has raised this
Did you
money.
bring the check?
Did you bring the check? No. Stand, Nick, and show us.
Thank you, Nick.
Oh, one more thing, I'm so sorry. Just want to thank everyone that participated, especially Greater Pike Community Foundation and all of the attendees, all of the sponsors who made our inaugural Veterans Luncheon fundraiser an amazing success, and hopefully we'll have a number for you raised for the Veteran Services Foundation in a few weeks. But thank you all.
Anyone else?